and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. Okay. Good Bronco game. Jackie, good morning. Good to see you. And then on Facebook, if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Same on Instagram. I do Instagram through my phone. I use this thing called Restream, but it doesn't let me see who's on Instagram, or it doesn't let them comment or anything. And it looks like Facebook is catching up here. So, all right. So we're at the start of a new week, and we're smack dab in the middle of recovery month, right? Morning, David. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Thanks, Jackie. It's good to see you too. I wanted to talk a little bit about Tradition 12 before we got started today. I always like doing a little extra stuff. I mean, daily reflections are fun, but you know, we're here to learn too. So mostly what I wanted to cover was principles before personalities. So let's read it real quick. Hey, Paula, good to see you. Man, it's turned out to be a good Monday. All my friends are showing up. So Tradition 12, anonymity, is the spiritual foundation of all of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. A lot of stuff in there. Let's start out with the beginning. What you hear here, who you see here, leave it here. Okay? David is dealing with principles before personalities today. I must be too, because that's why it came up. Isn't it funny how we're not alone? It's the spiritual foundations of all of our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Let's read a little bit first. The spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. So that's our principle here, along with humility. Humility is always one of the principles. Because AA's 12 traditions repeatedly ask us to give up no personal desires for the common good. We realize that the sacrificial spirit, well symbolized by anonymity, is the foundation of them all. It is AA's proved willingness to make these sacrifices that gives these people their high confidence in the future, in our future. All right. So they are not asking you to give up your personal life here. Let's see what Paula has to say. I was just talking about this last night, and that I was struggling with people's personalities and putting the principles of the programs first. So yes, you're right on. And this could be tough, okay? So we're going to utilize the 10th step here, the right to be wrong, right? So we have the right to be wrong. Just switch it back. No biggie. It's not the last time it's going to happen. The question is, how quick are you going to catch it? That's the real question, right? Because we get there and we get involved in other people's lives and we hear things and we get caught up, and then maybe we forget, principles before personalities, things like that. And it doesn't matter how long you're in the program, but you're going to forget stuff. You're going to need to be reminded. And I need to be reminded, and I have most of this stuff memorized. So that tells you right there that doesn't mean anything. So let's get to the last paragraph of this. These experiences taught us that anonymity is a real humility at work. It is an all-pervading spiritual quality which today keynotes AA life everywhere. Moved by the spirit of anonymity, we try to give our natural desires for personal distinction as AA members, both among fellow alcoholics and before the general public. I had a friend of mine tell me that I was the guru in the group, and I told him, don't you ever say that again. I just speak the loudest, guys. I am no different than anybody else. I am an arm length away from a drink, just like everybody else. As we lay aside these very human aspirations, we believe that each of us takes a part in the weaving of the protective mantle which covers our whole society, and under which we may grow and work in unity. We are sure that humility expressed by anonymity is the greatest safeguard of Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. So that's part of it, not going out there and saying, we want to be an example, but it's not for us to go out there and be screaming from the rooftops. Some days I want to do that. Today's kind of one of those days. I'd love to go out there and just have 1 million people in front of me and just change all their lives. Sure, but it ain't going to happen. It doesn't work that way. All right. And as people of Alcoholics Anonymous or any Anonymous, or even if you're in a different group, AA is not the only way. It's not the only way. You're still going to do the work. Don't be fooled. Okay. I've been to these other groups too, and I love them. They're great. I like structure, and it's just too unstructured for me. Right? So leave people in the meeting. Just leave them in the meeting where they belong. Or work with a newcomer, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm working with a newcomer. You know what's great about working with a newcomer is you meet them where they're at so that you can understand and you go back to those feelings that you used to have. I'm working with a friend right now. We're working on getting her into detox, and she's scared, and I don't blame her. Right? So we have support there. Paula says, after 19 years of sobriety and relapsing and taking me 6 years to get sober again, coming up on my 7th anniversary, congratulations, Paula. It is very important to me to stay humble in this area. Yes, some of us learn our lessons, huh, Paula? Yeah. I had 12 years. What's cool is I was told that I would get those 12 years back, but I would have to work for that. I would really have to work for that. And he was right. I did get those 12 years back. In a sense of a feeling of gratitude, of humility, of joy is what I'm talking about. Not that I get to run around. I have 5 years, so what? We all have today, and that's all that matters. If you got up before 8 o'clock this morning Mountain Standard Time, you have more sobriety than me. Paula, thank you for letting people know that and expressing that, and letting people know that even if you do have a long period of time, it's okay to come back. It fucking hurts, but you can do it. Paula did it. I did it. Did I miss a part of it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. To stay humble in this area, but that being said, taking care of myself sometimes feels like it's harder when I have to put principles before personalities. Does that make sense? Okay, yeah. So what you're saying is you're trying to figure out if you're being selfish, and maybe that's kind of a selfish thing. That does make sense. Give me a second on that, Paul. I wanted to hit my brain a little bit. Let's talk on opening up to change. Self-searching is the means by which we bring new vision, action, and grace to bear upon the dark and the negative side of our natures. With it comes the development of that kind of humility that makes it possible for us to receive God's help. We find that bit by bit we can discard the old life, the one that does not work, for a new life that can and does work under any conditions anywhere, as Bill sees it on page 10. What I'm saying is that there is a lot of toxicity because we come in very unhealthy. Ah, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense, Paula. That's your empathy. Yeah, I bet you have empathy. I bet people tell Paula things like, I barely even know you, so I'm not sure why I'm even telling you this. I bet that happens to you, Paula. And that's what I'm seeing is empathy. Cut it off. Boundaries. Personal boundaries, because I'm a very empathetic. Okay? Like right now, I can feel that Paula is a little anxious on this. I can feel that, and that's why I want to get her an answer. Can you guys feel it? I feel it. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes I found when it comes to that I have to put down my own personal boundaries. In other words, yeah, Dion, they're going through that, but is it really for you to go over there and run and fix? Or I just have to emotionally cut myself off because there's just too many emotions that are floating around out there for me to deal with. Paula, I hope that helps. If not, reach out. I'll find somebody that can get an answer for us, man. As Bill sees it, page 10. And Paula's like, you are way off. I'm so frustrated. I'm sorry. Out of the dark. Self-searching is the means by which we bring new vision, action. We just read that part. We will want all the good that is in all of us, even the worst of us, to flower and to grow. But first of all, we shall want sunlight. Nothing much can grow in the dark. Meditation is our step out into the sun. So maybe we could use that too, that acknowledgement, that self-searching, that assessment of what's going on with us to deal with these principles and personalities, right? What I try and do is, okay, Dion, I'm going through this. Is it best for the group or is it for you? That's why we have group conscience, right? I brought up a thing for a group conscience. I thought it was a great idea. Somebody said something, I'm like, you are absolutely correct, and I was wrong. Good catch. I love being wrong. Why? Because I just learned something new. I like learning. A clear light seems to fall upon us when we open our eyes. Since our blindness is caused by our own defects, that's right, we're the one blinding ourselves, we must first deeply realize what they are. Constructive meditation is a first requirement for each new step in our spiritual growth. We all kind of grew up right on G.I. Joe, right? Remember at the end, they'd be like doing something like picking up a power line because they're stupid children or whatever. And G.I. Joe comes, I don't touch that. And the kids are like, now we know, and knowing is half the battle. Right? Knowing is half the battle. So once you recognize these things, halfway there, man. It's just the rest of the work. You guys, you got to do the work. Got to do the work. You got to do the work. Okay? Do not avoid the fourth step. Do not fucking avoid it. It will say, not only, let me tell you something. Not only will it save your life, it will change everyone around you, and then you will have the ability to save other people's lives. Do you want that, or does that scare the fuck out of you? Did I just give you another reason not to do the fourth step, or are you going to continue arguing with God? Paula, yeah. Paula says, I'm laughing at myself right now because I've done so many four steps and I don't want to do another one. Yeah, I hear you. I just got another sponsor. Because I know I need to work on another four step. We're there. That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. That's humility. That is humility, not humiliation. All right, I got 10 seconds left, so I'm going to read this and wrap it up. I have been given daily reprieve contingent upon my spiritual condition, provided I seek progress. Okay, and we always miss this. We claim spiritual progress. Cut it off right there. Are you claiming your spiritual progress? I do. Heck yeah. Watch this. Good job, dear. It's over. All done. To become ready for change, I practice willingness, opening myself up to possibilities of change. If I realize there are defects that hinder my usefulness as an AA and towards others, I become ready by meditating and receiving direction. Gosh, doesn't this sound a lot like Principles of Four Personalities? Some of us try to hold on our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. To let go and let God, I need only surrender my old ways to Him. I no longer fight, nor do I control, but simply believe that with God's help, I am changed, and affirming this belief makes me ready. I empty myself to be full of awareness, light, and love, and I'm ready to face each day with hope. Good morning, Gary. Let's see what Paula had to say and wrap it up, guys. Everything is irritating me right now. I can't seem to get centered, but thank you, Lord, I have not picked up a drink, though it through it so that it means the program is still working unbeknownst to me. Absolutely. And sometimes, Paula, when we come on here and we tell on ourselves, it loses power. So good job. That's hard to do. It's hard to come on here and talk with other people about what is going on with you at that particular time. She doesn't know any of you guys. She barely even knows me. Thank you, God. Thank you, guys. Peace out. I love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for everything. I love you guys.